CM Punk is cleared to return at WWE SummerSlam. Plus, a title match has been added to the SummerSlam card, and an AEW champion has suffered an injury. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. Punk's got the all clear, Ross.
I cannot find the end of the thing.
You can do it.
CM Punk appeared on Raw last night in pink shoes. The pink shoes is a massive detail, and he was like, right, I want to fight Drew McIntyre. I want to fight Drew McIntyre right now. Drew McIntyre comes out and says, hey, Punk, calm down. When
It's a commercial.
I'm not actually putting that on. That's electricity tape. I'll get all sticky hands and whatnot.
Well,
Drew's like, you can be calm when you've got your family with you, and he pulls out the old bracelet he stole from CM Punk. One thing leads to another, and Punk versus McIntyre is now official for SummerSlam, but they cannot touch up until SummerSlam or bad things will happen.
Now, so we're here. Now, I believe this was a very clever ploy by Drew, who was keen to try and goad Punk into hitting him first, because he had the prior knowledge that not only was the match booked, but there was a no contact clause. So I guess that's why Drew was like, I'm going to beat you up, but not now.
Yeah.
Punk's like, I'm coming now, and then the referees all get in there to stop the rot on that one. But then Adam Pearce adds an additional caveat to CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in that it'll feature special guest referee Seth freaking Rollins.
Yes.
Rollins is up for this. He loves a bit of chaos, as old Seth Rollins.
Owen Mawson, stick a picture of Stephanie McMahon from No Way Out 2002 in that box there, and I reckon that's what Seth Rollins will wear for this match. I know that for a thing because I got that for a good school report at the end of the year, end of year 4 in 2002.
You got given that for a good school report?
Not Stephanie McMahon, the VHS of No Way Out 2002.
Oh, wow. That was, what a treat. What a night and a day that was for young Ross Tweddle.
9-year-old me had a great day.
That's, I mean, if Seth wears that, he's going to be very top heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Ludicrous, arguably. That's a risk if you're going to count to 3 seconds every couple of minutes.
How do I feel about Rollins being the special guest ref, though?
I think it's a nice little touch because I think they were setting up something with Seth and Drew in the off chance that Punk wasn't ready. So it meant that we're heading into SummerSlam with Seth having nothing to do. So I think this gives Seth something to do on the card and also it's great because he's got legit beef with both of them. So it's almost the perfect way around, which is funny when you consider that WrestleMania at one point, one of the planned things for WrestleMania would have been Punk versus Seth. Seth versus Drew with Punk as referee.
Yeah.
So we continue in this triangle of terror all the way down.
And you speak of triangle of terror, if I was in charge, something would happen at SummerSlam that would set up a bad blood triple threat Hell in a Cell match.
I was about to say whether or not you would make it a bad blood triple threat Hell in a Cell. I kind of feel like, I think a lot of people will probably go down that avenue with you, but I feel that Punk and Drew one-on-one in the Hell in a Cell has to be the way to go. Because this has been the main... Obviously, Seth has been on the periphery of all this, but the main story has been Punk and Drew. I feel like adding Seth, whilst you can legit have reason and find reason to add Seth, I think it waters it down.
But then where
some.
does Seth go?
He can do anything. Go to Tesco, do a big shop. Like, he'll have something to do.
That's not a sensible answer.
How dare you? Yeah, because he can't obviously challenge for the title whilst Damien Priest is the champion. So you'd have to find something else in the middle to do.
Gunter.
Gunter.
He becomes world champion.
Oh, once Gunter becomes world champion, then we're back again, aren't we?
They wouldn't do that. Gunter's going to have a long reign. Rollins wouldn't lose another top feud, would he?
No, I think Rollins would lose twice to Gunter. I think once at Bad Blood and again at Bash of Berlin.
Ooh,
just exactly. Speaking of titles, another title match added to SummerSlam last night.
Yes, we had last night on Raw. We had Bron Breakker just whizzle-wazzling, I think is the right word. Ilya Dragunov. We saw a superplex, but not into the ring, onto the ring where the ring pole surround thing is. What's it called? The LED surround of the ring pole.
The LED post.
It looked devastating, and also we saw the end of the match where Bron Breakker speared Ilya Dragunov, but Ilya's head clipped the apron on the outside of the ring, and it was devastating. So the referee called the match off, and that led to one thing to another, and we find ourselves with what lovely SummerSlam cake, Tom?
Bron Breakker versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title, and Bron Breakker celebrated this by giving Sami Zayn a very quick, very intense hug at the end of Raw last night. Just went, love you, bang! And then off we go. Now, it was reported a few days ago that the reason that Bron didn't win at Money in the Bank, didn't win the IC title at Money in the Bank, was because they wanted to save that win for a much bigger stage. outside of a WrestleMania, it don't get much bigger than a SummerSlam.
Yeah, I don't like that rationale. I like the rationale of, having Bron Breakker lose to unleash this new, even more vicious Bron Breakker that we've seen over the past few weeks. But I don't like a B show. It's only a B show if you treat it like a B show. Eddie Guerrero winning the title on a B show. If we're being honest, it was a B show back in the day.
Yeah, that's very true.
But it's still a monumental moment.
No Way Out 2004.
Exactly.
2 years after Ross's favourite No Way Out 2002.
I love the NWO's return. They cut that promo at the start of the show. But yeah, it's only, I don't like this. Well, is it becoming a thing in the Triple H era where he has to save these big moments for one of the tentpole Big 5 pay-per-views?
I think it seems to be that way. Trips is very much a longevity booker. Like he likes stories to play out. He's a bit of an edgelord in a very different way. Is our boy Paul Levesque. He likes to keep you going all the way. And I think that the Bron thing is part of that plan. I think this is where you put the IC title on Bron, and I think you give him a nice beefy reign until maybe WrestleMania. I don't know who beats him. I don't know if anyone beats him. keep him going.
Baron Corbin. Wolf Dogs unite. I don't know what we're doing here.
The Wolf Dogs explode. So let's go through the SummerSlam card as it is for a week on Saturday. Of course, we've already mentioned Punk and Drew and Zayn and Breakker. The US title on the line, Logan Paul and LA Knight.
Yes, he will win because Logan didn't have his title with him for his brother's fight at the weekend, so I've taken that as a foregone conclusion now that LA Knight's going to win. For the women's world title, Liv Morgan will die versus Rhea Ripley.
She did a big cry last night on Raw when Dom told her that he hates her.
Yeah.
Very heartbreaking
and up the
moment.
mother for licking Dom's face.
Very up the mother for licking Dom's face. A very good morning to you, mother. Bayley and Nia Jax is the BBL putting the women's title up against Nia Jax's hole.
God, the scandalous rumours. Damian Priest takes on Gunter for the world title on Raw.
And the WWE title as Cody Rhodes faces Solo Sikoa, and no doubt a billion run-ins from the bloodline.
Yep.
And I think that goes on last because I'm calling it that after Solo is unsuccessful, we have Roman Reigns return.
It just writes itself, doesn't it?
Writes.
He's been prodding that. If Roman's a bear, he's been prodding that bear a bit too much these past couple of weeks solo for nothing to happen.
And that bear is going to possibly be roaring at SummerSlam. We'll have live reactions to SummerSlam as well as 9 pitches, predictions, WTF moments.
Yeah.
WTF moments and what happened from SummerSlam all next week on the Cultaholic YouTube channel. Let's go to from a bear to a dinosaur who seems to be in bother.
Yeah, it's a weird one. We're getting a curse of the trios titles, it looks like, in AEW, because obviously they were vacated because of a foot injury to Jay White. And now, per lots of sources, Luchasaurus, Kill Switch, whatever you want to call him, he's now got the injury bug as well.
He is. It appears that during the match where the Patriarchy won the Trios title, Killswitch suffered a partially torn triceps. And now they obviously went on to win the match anyway. According to the Wrestling Observer and a few other sources, it looks as if Killswitch is going to work through the injury anyway, which I guess it will depend on how he goes over the next few weeks. A partially torn triceps is something that you can kind of work. Obviously, you don't want to work around it too much because it's an injury regardless. But if you're in a trios match, at least there's some cover for you having to do physical stuff.
Sorry, I was trying to think of a pun of like a Triceratops Rex. I couldn't do it.
Tricepsatops
Rex. If there's one title in AEW that you can have an injury with and work around, it is the trios title, because I know Christian's gimmick is stand on the outside, take all the glory at the end, but he can do a bit more work, can't he? Nick Wayne's there to do the bulk of everything all the time. Yeah.
I think so. It's again the curse of the trios title. There's some joy in that one, but we're sending our best to Jay White, a foot injury that shouldn't keep him out for too long, but in perfect curse timing, just as he was released on Fight Forever, he is sidelined with an injury. You can't, the timing of that's pretty bad. Speaking of Fight Forever, Fraser Porter played Fight Forever the other day because it's been a year since the game came out, and obviously there was a lot of heat about the game, a lot of backlash about the game and the way it was played, the way it was put together. 12 months on, has time healed all wounds when it comes to Fight Forever?
I don't know, but I'll ask Fraser.
And you can watch the video where Fraser plays it for himself at youtube.com/Cultaholic.
And look at how he sat at the start of the video. What a welcoming pose that is. If you don't want to go and sit on that sofa with him and play Fight Forever, you're broken.
I feel like that is the sort of pose that a dad would do as a daughter was bringing a boyfriend home for the first time. So, what are your intentions for my daughter? like a shotgun above the fireplace, that sort of thing. Terrifying. And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Up the mother.